I first became a Christian when I was in my first senior year in high school. I say first because yes, I had two. My first senior year in high school, something snapped in me, and I realized that I wanted something more. At the time, I was wrapped up in cigarettes, pot, alcohol, cursing, stealing, pretty much anything that could get me into trouble. I did it. But I felt in my heart that I really wanted more. So, I was having a bad day once, and I felt really sick. I honestly felt like I was gonna die. You know, I was laying in my bed, and the whole room was spinning, and my heart was thumping, and I was scared. And I said, God, if you're really up there, I mean, if you're a real thing, just get me through this night. Don't let me die, because I was afraid of death. I didn't know where I was going to go when I died. I didn't know if hell was a real thing, if heaven was a real thing, and so I was afraid. And I said, God, if you get me through this, I'll go to church. I'll start reading this Bible that I've had for years. I'll try. And so I eventually passed out that night, and then I woke up a couple hours later. It was dark out, and everybody had gone to bed, and so I went and I found this welcome card from that church that I eventually went to, and I circled the address, and I told my dad, wake me up and take me here. And honestly, I have no idea what led me to the point that I was at. I do remember specifically hearing a voice in my head, and it wasn't much unlike my own. It was just a voice, but it was not my own thoughts. And it said, ask and you shall receive. And at that moment, I felt like God was telling me to come back to Him. When I was a child, I had attended this church called First Church of the Nazarene of Roseburg, and they picked me up with a van ministry, and they'd take me to church, to Power Kids, and they'd give me juice and cookies and a Bible story, and I believe I memorized John 3:16. That was all when I was a kid, before I walked away from all of that. And here I am now going back to this youth group that I don't know, to a God I don't know. Well, anyway, they set me up on a drum set. Music is my absolute passion. So, if anything was going to get me to stay there, it was going to be a drum set. So, or a guitar, or anything musical for that matter. And they figured me out, and they got me plugged in. I started attending regularly, and eventually I went to this camp, and I remember going up to the front when asked, and I remember giving my life to Christ at that moment, and taking communion, and having it mean something to me. It was bread and wine, or grape juice, I guess you could say, but we took communion, and I gave my life to the Lord. I can't tell you what day it was exactly. I just know that my life changed for good. And so, recently, I felt a call on my life to become a youth pastor. And I accepted, and I've been going through all these studies at Nazarene Bible College, and I've been working really hard towards this bachelor's of pastoral studies. I've now got my district license, my first district license, and I'm in a position over at a church called Woodson Church of the Nazarene, and I'm serving as the youth, young adult worship pastor. I know that's kind of a mouthful, but I do quite a bit of things there. I've started a young adults group, which I believe may be the first for this church. I've started various outreach ministries, one called Skate and Hydrate, which I do during the summertime, where I go to the local skate park and just hand out water to the skaters and the bikers and the scooter riders and just anybody that's walking by, the people that are waiting for the bus. I'll just tell them, come on over and get some free drinks. And not sure that I saw too much come out of that program this year. Maybe I planted seeds, I don't know. Only God knows. But we're continuing on with our outreach programs this year, and we've got one that's about to happen called Hot Cocoa Monday Mornings. I haven't really come up with a clever name for that, but it should be good. I've got some ideas to actually get them talking to me, and I hope that it works. And so anyway, yeah, now God has completely changed my life. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't cuss. Well, when you hit your thumb with a nail or something, that might cause me to cuss a little bit. I'm human. But, yeah. I mean, God has really changed my life for the better. My grades are better than they ever have been. I've been working at the same job for about 6 years now. Married to a wonderful lady named Alicia. 7 years. And I have 2 beautiful children with her. Yeah, God has just made a huge difference in my life, and I hope that God can continue to use me to change others' lives with my story, and that's only part of it. You haven't even heard the most of it. I mean, I would be talking for a long time if I were to tell you every detail leading up to that point. God had been searching me out even when I wasn't paying attention the whole time. I mean, He's so wonderful. But, yeah, I just wanted to share that. And, I don't know, leave some comments maybe. And hopefully you won't leave anything disrespectful. I mean, if you do, I'll probably still read them. It might hurt a little. But please be respectful or don't post. I'd appreciate that. So yeah, that's my story. Thanks.